Ouch!
Bear a seek, seek lest. 4 words that send shudders down the spines of anyone who's ever played Dark Souls 2. For those with no idea what I'm talking about, you're probably thinking,
That doesn't make sense.
and you'd be right. In fact, each of those 4 words is the start of a new sentence. So why do all, and I mean all, Dark Souls 2 players hate them so much? It's because you have to listen to them before you level up your character. Every single time. Why do developers do this? Putting essential gameplay systems behind dialogue. Whether it be leveling your character, visiting a merchant, or any other key mechanic that requires you to talk to an NPC. Surely they must know players are going to be wanting to do this repeatedly to access these things. Then why on earth would anyone happily sit through the same 4 lines of dialogue they've heard 1,000 times before? It is absolutely baffling, and trying to play devil's advocate is pretty difficult. MMOs are bad trendsetters for this. How many times have you gone to an NPC you need to speak to over and over in a WoW expansion, only to have to sit through lines of dialogue over and over again? Also, you can buy some more healing potions to waste on the next dungeon you'll never be dying anyway. The obvious response as to why devs decide to put dialogue in front of this is for narrative and contextual reasons. The first time you interact with an NPC, they'll give you dialogue that hopefully explains who they are and what they want to convey to you. That could be information about the world, directions on where to go, or what game mechanics they provide. Now, this makes sense on the surface. It'd be odd to interact with an NPC you've never met before, only for a menu to immediately appear asking if you want to level vitality, endurance, or intelligence. Additionally, learning something about this character in relation to the world is great both to add to the lore, as well as seamlessly combine gameplay and narrative. By using NPCs to implement gameplay features, you provide a more elegant solution to what essentially boils down to menus full of items or numbers on a spreadsheet. But why, oh why does that dialogue have to repeat after the first interaction? It goes further than being just a waste of time. It ends up being immersion breaking and looking completely ridiculous. Usually in a game, if an NPC starts repeating a line of dialogue, you know you've basically exhausted all the things they're going to say. Possibly you can come back later when the stories move forward to get something new, but in general, most NPCs only serve one function. So when you start to hear repeated dialogue, you know now to move forward. But when it comes to NPCs where you have to constantly interact, you have to do the opposite and keep hearing that same dialogue no matter what. It's utterly infuriating. You know what it's like when politicians just constantly repeat the same thing? Or imagine if a work colleague did it every time you needed to speak to them. Oh, hey man, can I grab the pen?
Hello, great to see you. What can I do for you?
Just need to grab this pen. Have you, did you send the
Hello,
files?
great to see you. What can I do for you?
Yeah, you have. You sent the files. Okay, cool. Also, actually, I was thinking...
Hello, great to see you. What can I do for you?
It's, So I was also...
Hello, great to see you. What can
And I know what some of you will be furiously smashing into the comments, but if you can skip it, then just skip it, what's the problem? Well, firstly, congratulations on that truly magnificent insight.
I am the smart. I am the smart.
Secondly, it's a matter of principle. We've allowed game developers to normalize much worse stuff. Microtransactions in fully priced games, deplorable and insidious monetization strategies, releasing unfinished half-baked games that may or may not end up getting fixed and delivering what was actually promised. Now, it'll be a lot harder to try and wean companies off these things, but this is actually achievable. We don't need to stand for this. The solutions are incredibly simple, and the fact it still exists is madness. And to add a third thing, you're watching a series of videos about petty gaming gripes. Like, what were you expecting? A philosophical deconstruction of Planescape Torment? As I say, the solution to this is simple. After the first time hearing the dialogue before an NPC who offers leveling, or sells items, or needs to be interacted with in any way on a continual basis, make them stop repeating that dialogue. If you're worried people may want to catch it having missed it the first time, there's a whole wide internet world out there full of YouTube videos and transcripts for people to find. And would someone please make a mod to make the Emerald Herald shut up? It's nothing against her, I just can't hear those 4 words anymore. What's the worst example of this you can think of? Let me know down below. Oh, and like and subscribe.